you are doing well. My name is Shriya Bansal and I'm currently working as a software engineer at Microsoft. And welcome back to the very last series of SQL queries in which we are going to talk about SQL joins. Now, so far, you must have seen a lot of applications and a lot of stuff that we can do with SQL, right? We can do a lot of select queries. We can perform a query so that we can, draw some analysis on the data as well, right? And we can perform some calculations, concatenate strings in a column, and a lot more, which is also available. So now what we're going to do is, in this video, we'll talk about the very last aspect, which is going to about SQL joins. We'll talk about what SQL joins are, how can we actually implement SQL joins, and what are all the options available to us. Okay, so let's quickly get started on that. First, we'll go through a use case, right, on why exactly do we need SQL joins and what's the use case. And then I think we can go ahead and talk about more about this idea. So we know a database or a table specifically, or a relational database, it is nothing but multiple columns having in it, right? And in multiple tables, if you want to link those tables, you usually have a common column, and you must have seen already, we took some examples for that, right? Again, the idea being that we have a database. In a database, we have multiple tables, and to link those multiple tables, we usually have some common columns, which are known as foreign key columns, right? Those foreign key columns are usually used to draw a relationship between two different tables, right? And because of which, right, it actually makes sense and tries to give you a bigger picture of what you are storing in the database. So let me give you an example over here, wherein let's say there are two tables in a database. Okay, here there is a orders table. Let's see over here. So there is a orders table, and corresponding to that, we have a order details table as well. So there are two different tables, and the columns which are present is that we have a order number. Okay, and then we have, let's say, order date, and then we have, let's say, status of the order. Then we also have any comments that the order has on it, right? And along with that, we also have the customer number, right? Every customer has a unique number, and they have placed an order, so we have the customer number as well. Similarly to that, for every order, we have a few details of the order. So first, to draw the order details, you need to know the order number. Then let's say in that order, you have multiple items, so you need to know the product code, right? Here, you should also know the quantity, right? This just contains, order table just contains like what all orders are there. Order details table contains that what order, for which order, what products and what quantity and what particular details we have. And then we have, let's say, price for each kind of like an column. So let's say this is an example where we have two tables, order and order details. Okay, now to completely get the details for an order, right, you actually need to query the order table also and the order details table as well, correct? Let's say there was a customer, right, who placed an order, and in the order you have, let's say, 10 items, okay, and every item is of a different price. Now, if you want to get that whole picture, right, that if you want to know, let's say, for a particular order, who placed that order, what all items are there in the order, and what is the price for each and every item. Let's say this is the information that you need. And this is a very common scenario as well, right? Let's say you have a very big database which has a lot of customers' orders, and you want to get a full picture for a particular order. In order to do that, you will have to basically join, okay, or combine or query both the order table as well as the order details table, correct? That is why the concept of joins come into play, right? A join is basically a method of linking data between one or more tables based on the common columns between the tables. Let's write it down as well so that we have a slightly better understanding over here. So what do we basically say is a join is a method of linking data. Okay, you want to link data between one or more tables. No, join is not just between two tables, it can be multiple more tables than that as well. And how do you join the two tables? Based on the values of the common column between the tables. Okay, so join is basically a method by which we combine or link the data of one or more tables. Okay, and that is what the overall idea is. So sometimes you might require some information which is not completely present in one table and it has a dependency on some other table as well in order to get a full picture over here for the task. And in those situations, we basically use joins. So now let's come to the definition. So a SQL join is used to fetch data from one or two tables which is joined to appear as a single set of data. So the moment you join those two tables, now it actually appears or look like that it's a single table only, but actually they are multiple tables. Okay, so it is used for combining columns from two or more tables by using values common to both the table. So it's not like any two random tables can be joined together. Okay, they should have a common column based on which you can apply the join. Okay, so here the join keyword is actually used in the SQL queries for joining two or more tables, right? So you will see that whenever we will have to join two or more tables, we will be using the join keyword over here. Now remember, you don't always just join one table with another table. You can join a table with itself as well, and that is known as self join. Okay. So just to pretty much recollect what we've discussed so far is that joining is a concept in which we are combining two tables based on a common column. And what is the use case is that sometimes you want to look at some values, you want to look at some data, and the information for all of it is not appeared in one table. It is actually appearing or like part of another dependent table as well. So you combine those two tables, right, to get a bigger picture and a wholesome picture about the overall idea. And the moment you apply join, it actually looks like a single data set only instead of multiple different data sets. Now the next concept is what are the different types of join which are available. Okay, so there are multiple types of joins available. First, we have an inner join, which basically just returns the records that are matching both the tables. Don't worry if in the start these definitions don't make sense. As soon as we take examples, it will become absolutely clear, and then we can always revisit back these definitions as well to see if we actually understand the idea or not. But for the time being, we'll just go with the flow and just understand and take a look at the definitions. So the inner join says that we will basically are going to return the records that are matching or that have matching values in both the tables. Then we have outer join. In outer join, we basically return all those records where there is a match either on the left table or on the right table. Okay. Left join is returning all the records from the left table and matched records from the right table. So from left means that you will all the records from the left table will come, but only the matched records from the right table will come. In the right join, all the records from the right table will come, but only the matched records from the left table are going to appear. Okay. And this is a better view to give over here. But to fully understand and fully grasp it, what we'll do is we'll first create a sample database, right? And then we'll go ahead and understand this concept. Okay. So let me first give you what kind of databases now or like tables we are going to make. So I've already created a sample database, which is society per se. Okay. And now we are going to add two tables in it. Okay. One table that we are going to add is known as the members table, right? In a society, in a committee, a society always have a committee, right? So a committee has a lot of members. Okay. So there's like a member table and there is like a committees table as well. Okay. Members table over here will have two columns. Okay. The ID of a member and the name of a member. Okay. Similar to that, we have a committee table as well, in which we have the committee ID. Okay, and the name of the person. Okay, so let's set up the two tables over here. So we have create table. We are doing create table members. Okay, and we'll mention all that we have. So we'll have member, let's say ID, and then we will keep it increment, and also we'll keep it auto increment. So this will make the primary key. And then we'll have name also, var on that, right? 100, and then we have primary key. Okay, and the primary key we are going to keep as member ID. Okay, so here let's say we choose the database society, and then do this. Okay, let's say we also create another table, which is the committees table. In that we also have like committee ID, which is int, and again auto increment. Okay, name varchar 100, and primary key is committee ID. Okay, so that is what the two tables that we have available. Remember over here that in this case we have this as the primary key and this as the primary key over here. Okay, and let's insert some data also over here. So what we will do is we'll do insert into the members table. Okay, what we are going to put in the values, we will put something like, so let's say I am just adding everything in the name table for name column first. So you can do like this, name, that is this column values are being populated, and you can do like this, like John, then this Jane, this. Okay, so this will populate everything in a certain column. David, and let's say we keep one more, I think, Amelia. Okay, so this is all will be added. So here similarly, let's say there are some people out of this in the committee as well. So I will try to populate the committee table as well, but only in the committee we have John, Mary, Amelia, and like this one more person, let's say Joe. Okay, the table is committees. All right, so here we have added. Let's see, select star from members we'll do. Okay, so we have all the members, and let's do select star from committees, and we have all the people in the committee as well. Always remember that a society will have a lot of members, right? So all those members will be listed over here, and some people out of it, right, are going to be committee members. Okay, so this is like this, that some members of the society are going to be committee members, right? And some are not. When you live in a society, not everyone is a part of the committee, right? Some members are a part of committee, some members are not a part of committee. On the other hand, also remember, right, committee members, or I can say some committee members, are in the members table, some are not, right? So that means over here that there are going to be some people in this table who are not members of the society. Let's say the society committee has kept an accountant as well, right? So the accountant does not live in the society, right? He's just a part of committee to take care of your finances, but he or she is not in any way a member of the society. So remember these two rules, very important. Some members of the society are going to be committee members, some members of the society are not going to be committee members. On the other hand, some committee members are the members of the society, whereas there are people also who are a part of the committee, but they are not society members. Okay. So that is why you can see over here with this example as well, that in this case, there is one person, Jane, who is a society member, but Jane is not a part of the society committee. But here you will also see one more person, Joe, who is a part of committee, but he is not really a member of the society. So this is the data that you need to keep in mind while actually doing this. Now, at this point, we've actually set the context correct. And now we can go ahead and actually see how all the queries work. Okay. So let's start with the very first query, which is going to be inner join. Okay. So let's see what happens in an inner join query. So in the inner join query, what happens is only the rows which satisfies both the tables, right? Or only the values which are present in both the table, only those are a part of the final answer. As you can see over here from the image as well, that in the inner join, only the rows which are present in both the tables will be a part of the final answer. So let's say if I do select star from the members table, okay, members table now has an alias M. I am doing inner join, so you have to write inner join for committees C on C dot name is equal to M dot name. So this means that in the output, I only want those rows, right, in which only those members who are a part of committee and only those committee members who are a part of society as well are basically in the output. So you can see that there are in the entire both the tables, there are three people, John, Mary and David, who are a part of the society also and who are also committee members as well. Okay. Why do we don't have in the output Jane? Because Jane is a member of the society, but she is not a committee member. Okay. Similarly, why do we do not have Amelia in the output? Because Amelia is a member of the society, but she is not a committee member. Similarly, why do we do not have Joe in the output? Because Joe is a member of the committee, but he or she is not a member of the society. Okay. So whenever you're using inner join, that is why you can see in the image over here, we take table 1, we take table 2, but only when we combine, when we apply join and the data which is present in both the tables, right, it is basically in the output. All right. That's what the overall idea is whenever we apply inner join. Okay. So if I have to show you over here, only there are a lot of members. Right. And there are some committee members also. And there is like a overlap of committee members and the society members. And only this overlap is basically, Only this overlap is what is coming in the inner join. Okay, now what I would recommend is to actually stop the video here, because there might be a case that you do not understand some part of it, right? So the best way to actually verify what is happening is to actually go ahead and do it once on your own. And remember the syntax over here. We do select, we do star, we do from members table, right? And you can give the members table an alias, because sometimes the table names are very big, so you don't want to use it again and again. And then you want to inner join it with the committees table. Committees table is given C. And how do you want to do the inner join? Always remember, I told you join is applied when there is a common column. And here in this example, what you can see is the common column is name, right? Name is having the members also, and some committee members also have the name. So based on what common names you have in both the table, you have applied inner join. Okay, and that's how you get the output over here. If you don't want all the values in the output, you can just mention what particular values you need as well. Let's say in the output, I just want to see member ID and let's say name. So I can do m.member ID. Okay, and let's say I can want to see the committee ID as well. So you can do this as well in order to see the final output. Here it is T, double T. See, so only those particular columns which you require are in the output. Okay, so what syntax have we used over here? I'll generalize it. So we are using select. Then you have to mention the column list that you require, right? From, then you have to mention the table 1 name. Okay, then it is basically inner join, okay, on the table 2, okay, and then you write on, and here you mention the join condition. That means on what basis are you applying the join. So you have to mention basically a condition for the common column over here. Okay, so that's what the overall idea is over here. Let's move on to the next one now, which will be the left join. And please guys, feel free to stop the video whenever you want and only move ahead to the next join only when you have enough clarity on how the previous join basically works. Okay, so whenever we talk about left join, in the left join you can see very well the image over here, in which in left join all the data from table 1 will come. Okay, so here you can say that the members table is like the table on the left, okay, and table on the right is the committees table. So all the data, irrespective of the match, from the left table will come, from the members table will come. But from the right table, only those committee members will come which are also the society members as well. So actually the syntax to use is very similar to what we have been using earlier, okay? Which is, instead of this, you just do this. And instead of this, initially, let's look at all the columns instead of just looking at particular columns. Okay, and let me show you the specific members and the committee tables as well so that you can verify. See, this is the result that we got. I told you all the members of the society will be in the output because it is a left join, and on the left, let's say we have the members table. So here you can see there are 5 members and all the 5 members are basically in the output. John, Jane, Mary, David and Amelia. All the 5 people are in the output. But corresponding to that, what you will see is that here some IDs are null. Why? Because only those committee members right, which are actually the members, are in the output. You can see that Joe is also a committee member, but Joe is not in the output, because from the right table, the committee table, you only take the values or the rows which actually match the left one. And that is what it said as well, right? In the left table, you will have everything from the left table, but only the overlapping and the combined table from the right. And that is why it say definition. Return all the records from the left table and only the matched records from the right table. Okay, so that's what the overall idea is. So here you can see that John was a member, so John's committee ID is also there and name is there. Jane, right, is only a society member. He or she is not a committee member, so this null. Although the column will be coming, right, but for uncertain or unrequired value, it will show null. Mary is a society member as well as a committee member, so we have 2 and Mary. David is a society member as well as a committee member. And in the end, Amelia is a society member but not a committee member, so it's not in the output. But you can see all the rows from the left table are there. So that is why when we see over here, we say that for the left join, this is our members table, this is our committees table, and all this data is in the output. Okay, and that's how you define the outputs as well. Next, what we'll do is we'll talk about right join. Now, I hope now you are actually understanding how right join will also work. In the right join, what we basically do is we take all the records from the right table, but only the match records from the left table. Okay, so that means if I just simply do this, and you just have to mention like the name over here, right? Because the combining columns, the join condition will still be the same. And here you can see that this were all the committee members. Committee table was the right table. That is why everything from the committee is there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 committee members all are there. But corresponding to that, from the left table, only the members who are in the committee are there. So John, member, society member, committee member, both, right? Mary, society member, committee member, both. David also both. But Joe was such committee member who was not society member. That's why it is null and null. And you will see that Amelia and Jane are not even in the table. Why? Because you don't need all the members from the left table, only the matched ones to the right table in the right join. Okay. So that means when I think of right join now, it's like this. Members, committee, everything from the right table and the matched overlap values from the left table. Okay, that's what pretty much the overall idea is. Okay. Now the last one that we have over here, okay, is going to be outer join. Now outer join is nothing but the combination of inner join, like the left join or the right join. Okay, so if you take all the results of left join and if you take all the results of the right join and basically combine those, it will basically form outer join. So instead of actually thinking outer join as a separate type of join, you can think of outer join as of 2 parts, like it has a right join and it has a left join. Okay, so that, and it makes sense as well, because when you will combine all these results, okay, plus when you will combine all these results, right, it will basically, when you will try to do the union or the plus of both, it will basically give you this, correct? So there is a way of adding or doing a union operation also. So if you take all the results of right join, all the left and right join, you will basically get the full outer join. Okay, so that's what pretty much the overall idea is when we think of the concept of joins. Okay, there's also the concept of cross join, which basically says that if you have some data, let's say here it has 3 columns, 3 like rows, and here it has 4. So it is basically going to match the first row with this all, this all, this all. And that is what pretty much a cross join is, right? When you're combining the results from both to basically get the answer over here. Okay, so in the output, if you will have 3 rows over here and 4 rows over here, in the output, you will have a basical of 12 values. Okay, that will come in the output. So let's say here you can see that if I have select star from members, right, and from the committee members, and if I do a cross join, you can see all the possibilities that come over here, right? For one member John, it is actually matched with all the committee 4 members. Then for the second member Jane, it is matched with all the 4 committee members. Then with this 4 members, it is matched again with Mary and this. So in this case, 5 into 4 in the output, you will have a total of 20 rows, which we indeed have as well. So that is what pretty much the concept about cross join is. Okay, and with this, we've actually completed our series of joins as well, where we wanted to cover up this topic in detail. I hope this is clear to everyone, and this also gives you a little bit, idea in how to enter into the world of joins. But trust me, the topic is way more complex, right? And it actually can be used to perform a lot more complex operations that we have done today. This is just the tip of the iceberg. You can actually apply multiple joins together in a single query itself, where you are combining data from 2-3 tables, right? That is why we saw in the very definition as well that join doesn't mean that you are just joining or combining 2 tables. Join can further be, I would say, enhanced and taken into, let's say, 3 tables, 4 tables as well, where all of them are joined together. So that is why a good knowledge of join is extremely, extremely crucial in order to get a better picture about the overall idea. So I hope this is clear to everyone, and this gives you a good idea about how to work on this concept as well. Please make sure that you practice. The more you practice, the better idea do you get in order to how work on this concept, and the better confidence you'll gain as well. So soon, if you'll just watch the video and not practice, it will basically lead to the idea that you'll either forget the syntax after some time, or you might forget the concept as well. But if you'll keep on practicing, it will actually help you to gain good confidence. And it's very simple to do as well. You just have to make 2 tables, add some data into it, make sure there's a foreign key, there's a common column between the two tables, and you will be able to very easily perform all the queries. Right? Just make sure you first understand what the output should be, and then when you run the query, you actually are able to compare and get the correct answer as well. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning in for this SQL videos. I hope this is clear. We covered a lot in this, and I can understand there's a lot of new things that can come as well. So please make sure you do practice and you get a good grasp in these topics and make good confidence as well. All right. So I'll definitely see you in the next series. Thank you so much. Bye.